company that's figured out the whole streaming thing is World Wrestling Entertainment. I spoke with WWE co-president Michelle Wilson about the company's streaming service and how it was built from the ground up.
WWE is really about super serving the most passionate WWE professional wrestling fans around the world. It's a global product. And so our product really super serves that fan base. But when you look at WWE fans, one of the things that we know is they're sports fans in general, and they consume 5 times the amount of digital content than the average online viewer. So they are Netflix subscribers, they're Hulu subscribers. So for us, we always have to make sure that what we're delivering, our content is differentiated and justifies them paying $9.99 a month, which obviously we've been very successful at that.
You're in the place where everyone wants to be. People are trying to get to where you are. So what do you see down the road 5 years from now? Give us a sense of how you're moving forward.
You know, I think as more and more services, other content providers go OTT, I think to your point previously, is making sure that we continue to deliver value to our consumer, for them to continue to be a subscriber. In the direct-to-consumer business or the SVOD service, there's a word called churn, and making sure you minimize that by delivering content. So for us, it will be making sure that, given all the choices that the consumer has, that the WWE network still provides that. So again, I think we would look at what other perhaps ancillary shoulder content that might make sense, but ultimately we think we do a great job of delivering global professional wrestling fans what they want.
And the technology works. There have been no real big disruptions to it. How much of your time is spent figuring out the technology part of it?
A lot. And in fact, when we launched, again, there was no playbook when we launched. So when we looked at what we wanted to deliver, which was a live streaming service, our live events at scale, but also a 10,000-hour library of on-demand content, there really weren't a lot of technology players out there that could deliver what we were looking for, a live stream plus an on-demand library. And we partnered with BAMTech, who is now owned by Disney. They were our technology partner. So the back end and the user experience, all of those things, the data and what you do with the data, the back end is just as important as the marketing and the content that you're creating. So we spend equal amounts of time on the technology and user experience and back end, because again, when you have millions of fans coming to watch WrestleMania, which is in a few weeks, you don't want the streaming service to have any issues whatsoever. So thankfully, we've been very successful on that front.
You mentioned that you collect a lot more data on your viewers and you have a lot more to work with than you ever have before. And it allows you to craft these compelling storylines that cater to their interests. Can you share a specific insight that you've learned that you were able to turn around and bring back to your viewers?
Yes, we did. You know, again, we see what they're watching. So when we launched the network, we had a range of content, everything from scripted shows to comedies to animated adult animation shows to in-ring content. And what we were able to find is that our fans really want more in-ring content. When we thought we've delivered all the in-ring content, live in-ring content that they want, that's really what they want. They also want to know more about our WWE superstars and the athletes, where they came from, what do they do when they're not performing, the backstory of those characters, what they do, who are they. And so we've done a lot more follow docs and documentaries about our talent, because our fans are either, we want to see them performing in the ring, or we want to know who they are when they're not the character who they're playing in the ring. A lot of them were former athletes, so again, that backstory is really what our subscribers are looking for. So we've really honed our offering around those 2 areas in particular.
I want to ask you also about live events, because live event attendance in North America has been dropping off, down, 74% in the fourth quarter versus last year. And some would say that that's a barometer of health for WWE. What's driving that decline?
You know, we've looked at that as well, and quite frankly, a lot of our business is around our talent and storyline. As you mentioned, it's good versus evil. Our business, like any other sports business, we have injuries, and recently we've unfortunately had kind of ebbs and flows on talent injury, and we did experience a fair amount of talent injuries in the last 12 months.